be me, critic. So I'm going for my second victim here, Somnia Band, and I'm just picking out some colors and starting there on the legs, putting in some of the midtones and shadows, working myself from the shadows, separating already some of the parts with some of the deeper parts of the purple. Adding some highlights onto the shoes there after I brought some of the midtones and darker tones into the recesses and shadows again, and then just working on that leg. He already chose like a mid light source shining from the middle of the miniature, so I didn't want to change that and just went with it and pointed all my highlights to the middle. Just adding some corner highlights here to make it look more shiny, and put some white spots and dots in the edges just to make it look more spot on. As you can see, I work a little bit on the left arm and in the middle part, where I just bring up a little bit of the contrast, going from my darkest, most purple parts up to the most light parts. And then I'm working on the white. I'm never a big fan of just using pure white, just adding some neutral or more, let's say, gray to it. You can go for warm or dark, a cold gray. I use the neutral tone here just to make it faster. So I'm working on the helmet, cleaning it a little bit up, putting that more clean highlight in there, and then putting that edge highlight on there, also like on the front rim of his armor piece. And then I'm going to the shoulder, doing the same thing I did on the mask for the face, just adding in some grays to give it more of a gradient to the middle. It's not my nicest work right here, but yeah, you can see I go darker and darker in the recesses and add a really black and have the shadow in there just to make it pop and up the contrast between the two parts and make it pop more. And also there you can use like a tinted wash to make the white a little bit more sepia or something, or beige. That would be looking really nice. So yeah, now I'm starting to work a little bit on the gold, just going back into the recesses, making them darker. That's always nice, makes your color pop a lot more. Just always remember going from your most dark parts up to the most lighted parts if you have something that is supposed to be shiny. If not, then just go from the darkest to the midtones or something above that, but never to white. White just ups the contrast, like pure white just ups the contrast so much. Like on the shoulders you can just see they're almost the same color as the background, and it's just a void. I'm just trying to give them some depth here by at least adding some shadows. Like, I'm not trying to go overboard in this direction. Then we start to work in some more dark parts into the gold, also just to make it pop more on the edges. You can see, like, even in the dark parts I highlight the edges again, just to make them pop more and again to up the contrast. And the more you go for the highlights like you see me doing here, and yeah, placing more realistic lighting onto your gold, the more that will appear to pop off the miniature and just make it look nice. Also, like for the gold, if you have a white part or a shoulder part and you have the highlight in the middle upper part, then don't place your highlight from your gold right there. Just place a little bit beneath it. It will not be in the same place and not look realistic at all. Then I'm just going for this hair strain here, or this. Yeah, I actually don't know what they are called. Like, write in the comments if you don't, if you know what they are called. So just upping the contrast again. Going into the shadows, going through my midtones, highlighting again, just picking out a few strains, not going through the pure white, just to make it not as shiny as the face, so our spotlight is still on the face. And then I'm just working in some little details into the blades, making the sides and the back a little bit darker, going in the gradient from the back, like from the beginning to the tip of the blade, making it more shiny there, adding some edge highlights, just to like rough. You can see I made some really rough changes right there. And then I'm just going in with some even more highlighted purple, almost white, and I'm just upping the contrast on the edges a little bit more. I'm going for that backpack. You could almost not see it because it was white, and just adding some grays into the shadows just to make it pop more and just to make it seeable against the background. And then we just add some more deliberate highlights into the cape to make it look a little bit more saturated and satin at some parts, just where the light would shine a little bit through the object texture, so you can see that, and even in the shadow recess parts down there, because light bends on soft edges. And here you can see what these few changes did to the miniature and paint job. Thanks for watching and have a great day.